announced for match day 4, and it means we can finally start building a team for it. I know it's a little bit late and we are going to be doing it live, so I haven't even made my team yet. I'm going to use you guys as an opportunity to bounce off some ideas, and this will be the perfect opportunity if you have any early questions to get them fired off, because there are some really interesting fixtures that have been announced for match day 4. England have once again been given an incredible draw against Slovakia. No excuses from Gareth Southgate not to get us through to the quarterfinals. So as always, if you're new around here, please do consider dropping a subscription on the channel, and of course liking the live stream. We're going to get straight into it because we need to get through the first and foremost, most important thing, the fixtures, because that is how we're going to decide what players to target, because there are definitely some teams here that we have to focus on bringing into our size. I currently have 5 teams that are going to make up the bulk of our match day 4 draft, and it's going to be really important that we get the right ones. And we need to go through the rules as well, because of course match day 4 is very different to, of course, match day 1, 2 and 3. There are a few tweaks that a lot of people don't know about, and it's going to be really, really important to what direction our team goes. So as I mentioned, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let's get right into it with some key information, and that's going to be those fixtures. We have officially got it announced. This is courtesy of Fabrizio Romano. I'm sure he will not mind me using it here. There's no chance he's going to be on this live stream right now, so I hope he doesn't mind me using it as a bit of a template for us to go through them right now, because of course there have been quite a few surprises right now going into match day 4. So Spain versus Georgia, an incredible fixture for us in match day 4 to bring in those Spanish players. I'm looking at bringing in 4. If you didn't know already, you can own 4 players from each nation, which is really, really important. And we also have 105 million to spend on our teams. And of course, it's unlimited transfers going into match day 4. So you can completely make a new team, which is really, really exciting. So Spain versus Georgia, I'm looking at 4 Spanish players most likely in our team, but we will cover that off in a minute. Germany versus Switzerland, a really interesting game. I think that one isn't as appealing as what it could be, but I still back Germany offensively under Nagelsmann, so I think that is a good fixture, but I think there are better ones to target. Portugal, of course, have a decent fixture against Slovenia. That is probably one of the standout games. I know they were poor tonight, obviously, against Georgia, but with the big guns coming back into that team, I do fancy Portugal from an offensive perspective. So Portugal, a team that I've highlighted as one that we do need to target 100%. Then, of course, France versus Belgium. Now, on paper, this doesn't look great, but what I saw from Belgium today, not a fantastic team. I do think France, even though themselves haven't been impressive, I do think that is still a fixture that we can target going into the round of 16. So I think France, Mbappe, maybe a defender is definitely the route that we can go for right now. So definitely eyeing up a French or 2 players, 100%. Looking at the rest of the fixtures right now, we got Romania versus Netherlands. Really difficult to call. I don't really think that is a place that we're going to target our transfers for this 1 week punt. Next up, of course, we have got the fixtures of Austria versus Turkey. Austria have been very, very impressive. I do think we could squeeze in an Austrian player into our drafts if we need to find some budget players. I think there have definitely been a few impressive ones here. England. We've got to back them. We've got to back them against Slovakia. But interestingly, I think we back them from a defensive perspective, not necessarily an offensive one. So I think England defenders are going to be really, really popular going into this week. And then, of course, finishing off with Switzerland versus Italy. Another fixture that I don't really feel that compelled to bring in players for, but it might change my mind once we do start to build this draft. And again, we're going to be doing it live on the stream. So you guys need to help me out in the comment section on players that you are interested in. So first and foremost, in the comment section, get going. Let me know the players that first spring to your mind that should be absolutely essential in this draft that we are going to be building, because we really want to have a foundation of this team and then look to expand elsewhere. Garner, by the way, hope you're doing well, my friend. Tripled up on Spain already, which I think is a great move. Cheekster, very well, my friend. Hope you're well. And Christopher is saying, how many points do you have? Not enough. Not enough. I ended up twisting my captaincy from Mbappe to Lukaku. Didn't go well at all, but of course we will cover that off in a minute, probably in tomorrow's video. I think this one is just going to be specifically on focusing on an early draft that we are going for. So again, let me know in the comment section, who are your essential players that you're looking to bring into your squads? I'll be really interested to know. And again, get yourselves in the chat, let me know that you're tuning in. So like I said, first and foremost, let's get into this team. I haven't actually built it yet, as I've stated, so we're going to build it live right now. And I want to kind of focus on teams that I think are going to be more safer options that I know have been performing quite well. So that's going to include Spanish players against Georgia, Germany against Denmark, even though I think that is quite a tricky game for Germany, Portugal against Czech. I think that's a good fixture for the offensive assets, a bit of French, and of course England versus Slovakia. So let's start building the team. And remember, a few things that we need to note. First and foremost, round of 16 is unlimited transfers. We don't have to worry about it, okay? Unlimited transfers for round of 16. The other thing, of course, is that we've got 105 million to spend. As you can see at the bottom here, remaining 105 million. So they've given us 5 million more to spend, which is really, really important. So plenty to do. Let's get building it right now. Okay, so as I mentioned, first and foremost, I think England defensively need to be in this team. So straight out the bat, I'm very tempted to see if we can squeeze in Jordan Pickford and Mark Guy. They're the first two that come to the top of my head. Gay for the ball recoveries, Pickford just because of his presence in goal for guaranteed minutes. We might see a change from Kyle Walker, for example. So Gay up against Slovakia, perfectly fine in that team. So Mark Guy is in. I'm looking at the rest of the fixtures right now. I think someone like a Cucurella has been fantastic this tournament. When we look at it right now, obviously he didn't play against Albania, but that was just because of rotation. I do think he is the Spanish number one at left back. 14 ball recoveries in match day 2, 2 against Croatia. I think he's a bit of a machine in this game. So Cucurella, I think, is going to be in. Of course, we need to remind ourselves, if you just come in, the fixture for Spain is up against Georgia, which I do think is a good fixture to target. So I think Cucurella's in. I think we've got double England defence, definitely. I'm looking at the rest of the team right now, thinking where I can get a little bit of benefit. I do think that a French defender is still decent. I think France have been good defensively. I think Theo Hernandez is the first one that comes to mind, but I do think Jules Koundé as well is a good option. But right now, we're going to put Theo Hernandez in and hope that we can afford him. Now, Mittelstadt is an interesting one because I thought he wasn't that impressive in the most recent game, and he could possibly be at risk of being rotated out of the team. But as of right now, I do think he's a good option. The thing we need to note, Rudiger is a doubt, and also Tah is suspended. So we're going to see a bit of a weakened Germany backline up against Denmark. So it isn't the most appealing place to go right now, the Germany defence. So I'm going to avoid Germany defence right now. I think Mbappe is a lock. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now thinking about players that need to be in this team. But I think Mbappe is definitely a lock in this team. I think Bruno Fernandes is definitely a lock in this team. Just thinking who else, guys, because I'm looking at it right now thinking, I think I would go triple England at the back. I really do. I think Kyle Walker into this team at 5.5. That's where we're at right now, guys. Just a reminder of the fixtures. The ones that I'm really looking at from an offensive perspective include Spain, but it's which Spanish players to include is going to be the big one. Just looking at some of the comments right now, essentially Mbappe and Musiala. Yes, I do agree. I think Musiala is a player that definitely should be in this team. I think Florian Wirtz, unfortunately, probably is one that I would look to avoid right now. When we take a look at the Germany team, in terms of total points scored, I think Gundogan probably is a bit more of a central than Florian Wirtz because of his bit more guaranteed game time. Let me get this up on your screens. I think Gundogan is a bit more safe on penalties, really, really important. So I think Gundogan is one to consider in this Germany team. But I also think Denmark have shown that they can be defensively pretty sound. So it isn't a perfect fixture by any means. And again, guys, if you are enjoying this stream, please do consider dropping a like and, of course, hitting that subscribe button. Basically, just to let you know, tomorrow will be kind of like an essential guide on match day 4, which will be really important to check out. We're going to have team selection, team reveal, live stream, deadline live, all the good stuff. So make sure if you're not already, you do subscribe to the channel. It'd be awesome to have you on board. So Musiala definitely in. I think he's a really tasty pick, but I do think Gundogan is definitely one as well that we need to consider for our teams. Mittelstadt, I agree, could be a risk, but I'm not saying he is definitely going to be a risk just off one bad game, for example. Player prices changed. I don't know yet, so it's worth noting. They haven't done it in the game, so I don't know whether they've just forgotten about changing the player prices, which would be crazy if they have. So we need some Spanish in this team, definitely. We need some Spanish flair. So look at the options available to us. Carvajal, we've got Cucurella covered already. Fabian Ruiz. I mean, Lamine Yamal is very tempting as a forward in this game. But can we squeeze him in as a forward? I don't know yet. I need to build the rest of the team right now and see if we can actually afford to bring in someone like Lamine Yamal, who I don't think is necessarily essential at the time of recording. So a little bit difficult. I think Portugal, Bruno Fernandes is definitely the route to go. I would like to maybe bring in a Portuguese coverage and defence. Maybe we go for Costa in goal, because I don't think I know exactly who would play in the wide areas. So Costa and Pickford is quite an interesting combination, but we do need to look at the dates of when they are playing as well. So let me just get that up. Euro dates. Let me just get that up, because of course that's going to be really important to know when each game is going to play. So let's get this up on your screens right now. Here we go, guys. Hopefully you can see this. Let me just make it a little bit more, because this is really important for the players that we select, especially in goal. So as you can see here, guys, super important to note that if you're choosing goalkeepers, we have Switzerland, Italy, Germany, Denmark playing on the same day, so you can't rotate the goalkeepers. England, Slovakia, Spain, Georgia on the Sunday. Monday is going to be France, Belgium, Portugal, Slovenia. Tuesday is going to be Romania, Netherlands, Austria, Turkey. So right now, my goalkeeper combination of Pickford and Costa does work because, of course, England and Portugal play on different days. So currently leaning towards that combination in the team. I don't think there's been any outstanding defensive teams it's worth noting, but maybe going for Maignan in goal could be also an option for France, and getting maybe the double French defensive coverage in this team if it needs to be. I also see a few people saying about Sabitzer as an option, and I do agree. I think he's a brilliant differential that we need to consider for our teams. So I might put a little bit of Sabitzer in there right now because he is playing fantastic. And of course, a favourable fixture I do think as well going into this week. By the way, I've just messed up the screen, so I do apologise. This was a bit of an off-the-cuff stream. There we go, guys. So we've got 40 mil left. Guys, let me know in the chat, who do you think is essential in this team right now? I'm seeing a lot of Griezmann. I don't love it right now. Morata, I need to check out the injury status. When is the date? As in the deadline? Saturday. So you're good right now. You're good right now. Is Akanji a good pick? It could be a good pick, but when we look at the fixtures here for the teams, he could be appealing. He could be appealing. It's one that we need to keep a note of. He's been fantastic for ball recoveries. It is worth noting. If you do not make any transfers for matchday 5, does all your 3 transfers save for semi-final? No, I don't think you can roll transfers now in the knockout stages, which is a bit of a shame. How many transfers do you get in the quarterfinal? So these are the rules, guys. Hopefully that helps cover it off there. Remember, once you're in the knockout stages, you can't carry any free transfers between match days. So you can't roll your transfers in and out. So unfortunately, it worked in the group stages, doesn't work in this session here. So just be cautious of that. Do not be caught out. Gakpo, don't mind Gakpo. Lamine Yamal could be an option. Let's put Yamal in for now. A little bit of coverage up front because it is a favourable fixture. I just don't get the impression that he is a big goal scorer, which is the only worry. I do want players that are actually going to score goals in this team. And again, obviously the fixtures have only just dropped, so I will be doing a bit more of a deep dive in tomorrow's video where I'll be giving my kind of official team based on what we've seen. But 33.5 souls to spend. Got no England offensive, it's worth noting, but Bellingham's been pretty poor right now. Do we chance it on Harry Kane? I don't know if we do, you know. We'll put him in for now as a bit of a stopgap. Kante, yeah, he's good for ball recoveries. Gay, 100%, I agree. KDB, possibly. Pepe at 5 million for Portugal, great option. Vitinha, Ronaldo, Bastoni. Bastoni could be interesting. A reminder of the fixtures here, guys. Bastoni against Switzerland. I don't love it. I don't love it. Unfortunately, England are going to play a team that's going to park the bus, which is a little bit difficult. Ronaldo against Slovenia. Yes, it is tempting, but he wasn't phenomenal in today's game. It is worth noting. Portugal, very difficult team to target as well in terms of guaranteed minutes. But you would like to think that Ronaldo will get some minutes. Maybe we'll try Ronaldo in there. And England midfielders a target. We just don't really know right now. Maybe Jude Bellingham. Maybe a bit of Jude Bellingham. But he has been poor. If we knew Gordon was going to play, and we need to remember here, in terms of the fixtures, the one that we'll find out is going to be the team lineup for Italy versus Switzerland, which really isn't that helpful for us at all. So we've got 14 million left to spend right now with this team. Let me know what I should do with it. Xavi Simons, maybe. Yes, if you submit your team, you can make transfers. Don't worry, guys. You can definitely play about with it. The only thing I will say is there's potential chance of price changes. So if you do get rid of a player, then you might struggle to bring him back in if their price does change. So just be cautious of that. But we literally don't know how the price change system works. So I would just forget about it, to be honest with you. Saka for England. Nah, it's not really that appealing right now. I can see Switzerland beating Italy. Yes, I do agree. Nathan Ake, interesting one. But of course, with the fixtures, do we love it for Nathan Ake? Do we love the fixture? It's not too bad. Okay, let's put an Ake for now. There's a lot of Ake love. And it means we've got 8.5 million left to spend on the team. 8.5 million on a midfielder. Let's have a look. 8.5 left on a midfielder, guys. Maybe Gundogan. Guys, look at something like this right now. Obviously, it's a little bit of an early doors pick, but just to give you a bit of an idea. Triple England for their favourable fixture against against Slovakia. I get it. England have been woeful, but defensively they are still pretty sound. So Triple England for the game against Slovakia, I think, is quite a favourable pick. Cucurella, ball recoveries are fantastic. Spain against Georgia, I think they will just dominate the game. So I think Cucurella is a great investment in the defence. Theo Hernandez, even though France have been a little bit below par, not really that great, I still think defensively they're very sound with Saliba, with Jules Koundé. So I think France against Belgium, even though it doesn't sound great, I've seen enough from Belgium to think they can create opportunities, but also they struggle to put the ball in the net. So I think France could just nullify Belgium, to be honest with you. So Theo Hernandez is in. Nathan Ake, a bit of the trump card here. Not a great fixture, is worth noting, but you would still fancy them to get the victory. So obviously the Netherlands against Romania. It's a good fixture, but Romania have proved that they can put up a fight against, I say anyone. They've done okay this tournament. So Nathan Ake is in, but I think that one is definitely one that could come out. Moving into the midfielders, of course, with Germany's fixture that they do have against Denmark, I think that's going to be a cagey affair. And going for both Musiala and Gundogan doesn't really feel that incredible right now, but I'm just going to put them in as placeholders. Sabitzer in, a little bit of a rogue pick, to be honest with you, but I do think he's been one of the players of the tournament right now, and he is the driving force in that Austrian team against Turkey. So if anybody is going to step up in that team, you probably would back Sabitzer. So I think he's a really nice differential, but I think a lot of people will have him in a limited team. Bruno Fernandes, I just think he's really important to this Portugal team up against Czech Republic. I think that's a good player to have. And then Jude Bellingham. But I don't have any confidence in the England attack right now, it's worth noting. So that one could easily change. And a front three, very difficult to look past Kylian Mbappe, especially with a game against Belgium, who have looked a little bit ropey. So Kylian Mbappe in. Lamine Yamal's the only Spanish player I'm currently looking at to bring into the team. And that probably does suggest the lack of forwards right now in the game that are still available to us. And then Cristiano Ronaldo just for the double Portuguese attack. But that is another position that I'm really not 100% keen on right now. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'd be really interested to know. I'm just going to go through some of the questions. This is going to be a real quick stream because I just wanted to get through the first few. And I see we're close to 400 in the chat. So guys, if you're not already, please do consider becoming a subscriber. Be awesome to have you on board. Daily fantasy content between now and probably the end of the competition. Had a few days off because there was literally no point putting content out. But if you're not already, make sure you jump on because there will be team selection tomorrow. There'll be a central guide the following day. Lots and lots of content to go through. So please do, if you're not already, get yourself subscribed. So Chalanoglu, don't mind it at all. 8.5 Bernardo Silva doesn't really excite me, but I get it. He's done well in the previous game in match day 2, so you could go there. But for me, Bruno Fernandes is the priority pick in this team. Should we do trades now or wait until the prices come out? To be honest with you, nobody knows what is happening with the prices. So I think you could definitely play around with your team right now if you want to. Have a bit of fun. It's unlimited transfers. The one thing I will say is, and I haven't actually got a slide for it, is your chip strategy is really, really important. So for me, I'm only looking at 1 game week in isolation because we don't know what happens beyond this. So in the round of 16, I'm looking at just a 1 game week punt. Then I'll be using my wildcard in match day 5 to completely refresh the team once we know who's progressed to the quarterfinals. And hopefully, if we do get some favourable fixtures, I can build a team that not only looks good for the quarterfinals, but maybe for the semi-finals as well. But again, it is anyone's guess who is actually going to progress in that competition. Cole Palmer is a punt. If we do get confirmation that maybe he is starting for England, then that could be appealing. But right now, not one that I want to go for unless I have guaranteed reassurance that he is going to be starting for England. Otherwise, I wouldn't go there. Rodri, don't mind it, but he doesn't really excite me as a pick. Is worth saying. Romania will sit back, though. I do agree on that one. I do think Romania will sit back and it could be a tight affair. Triple Dutch, triple Spain. Triple Dutch is interesting. I haven't got that much confidence in them personally, but maybe a bit more research, a bit more digging on how they get on their previous games. Maybe I could be tempted. Nico Williams is a way to get into the Spanish attack. That's a good point. Maybe I take out double Germany right now. Let's put a Nico Williams in for that favourable game against Georgia and let that sit for now. That's a really good point. Cucurella, I personally think he will start. I think he's been good in the opening 2 games. I think he was completely rested just because mainly they were looking to get some game time into players who haven't featured right now. Kante or Bellingham? I think I have to go for Bellingham, to be honest with you. Love you too, mate. KDB, don't mind it. He has been basically Mr. Belgium this tournament, hasn't he? He has been everything for them. So I think he is an okay pick, but not one that I'm hugely fond of. And by the way, is anybody else just happy not to put Lukaku in their team? I think you'll be a maniac to put him in, but watch him score a hat-trick in this game when we've all avoided him. Gakpo, under the radar, very good recently. Will I go for him? Probably not. I've used both my wildcard and Limitless already, and am I cooked? No, you're not cooked at all. But of course, you are kind of just praying that your teams that you select stay in the competition. So that gives you even more reason to go for those teams that are not risks. Go for Spanish, go for Germany, go for Portugal, go for France, go for England. You can't go too far wrong with those picks. Is Morata injured? No update yet. Hopefully we'll get some information over the coming days. Cancelo, yes, I do like him. I think he probably will play. And realistically, when I look at my team, maybe going for a Cancelo here is maybe the route to go for. And then I consider maybe going for double French defence. But we do need to remember France play on a different day to England. So we could go for something like this. Maybe that is a bit more of a interesting team there. Paul, how did you do in FPL? Just found your content. Looks great. Yeah, so thanks, mate. Last season wasn't the best. Finished about 45k in the world. I think I've had 45k, 40k, 270th in the world, which was before I'd done the YouTube channel, which was killer, and 8k. So Usually decent ranks, but of course we can do better. We can do better. Bellingham over Kane. I think neither are looking that great right now. My chip strategy is going to be wildcard in matchday 5 100%. Unless the team I select all progress to the next round and it doesn't look like the team needs it, then I might save it for the semi-finals. Transfer in all cheap, high-scoring players because their value inflates. Yes, however, I personally, and I might be wrong, haven't actually seen anything online to suggest that the prices are actually going to change. I haven't really seen any sort of announcement from the game, so I need to actually see what is going on right now. I personally am probably just going to make a team that I think looks good, and if the prices change, the prices change. Just kind of roll with it. Just seeing now if there's any info. I don't think there is. No, we'll leave it for now. Spanish defence. Yes, I have currently got Cucurella in the team. Trent right back for England due to Walker moving to left back due to Trippier injury. Ben, I would love to see that personally. I've been screaming out for Trent at right back for pre-tournament, so that would be a welcome move if that was the case. Fabian Ruiz, yes, really good pick. Possibly maybe a replacement for Bellingham if I'm really not tempted to go there. Nuno Mendes is my guy. Triple Dutch, triple Spanish. Definitely triple Spanish. Not as inclined to go triple Dutch yet, but I do get it. I do think the Dutch could do well against Romania, but they've proved to be a very good team so far this tournament. Jazz, will I be live every day? No, but I will be doing a video every day going through my team. So while I won't be live, make sure you tune into the videos. They're probably dropping around 8 a.m. each day, so plenty of time to watch them throughout the day. Is it a bad idea to have 2 Belgian players and 2 French? I like the 2 French. I'm not as inclined to go for the 2 Belgian right now. Why Maignan and not Simon? No real answer to that right now. I think both are good options. Mittelstadt, yeah, I think Mittelstadt is a good pick. But Tah and Rudiger are potentially out, and I think that does worsen the Germany defence, it's worth noting. Could we see a replacement for Ronaldo? Possibly, but it's Ronaldo. We know for a fact if they do, Martinez puts up the team and Ronaldo isn't in it, I literally could imagine him just going up and going, nah, and just putting himself back in the team, and he's not going to do anything about it. So I think Ronaldo probably still does remain in the team. And guys, a quick reminder, if you didn't know already, about match day 4. Everybody gets unlimited transfers, which is really, really important. You can see that here. And round of 16, you can now select 4 players from each nation. So whereas before it was only 3, you can now select 4. So do not be caught out. If you think Spain are great, don't just have 3, put all 4 in. Same for France, same for England, same for Germany. So that is a big change. You get 4 players per nation and you get a limited transfer, so the round is 16. So those are 2 really important rules to note. The other one is that you get £105 million to spend rather than 100. You can see that here highlighted on your screens. Raum is a good pick if he does replace Mittelstadt, but there's no confirmation that he will right now. Adam, yes, good point, mate. Just covered that one off, bud. Gundo over Sabitzer, possibly, but I think right now I want a piece of this Austrian team. They're looking good. No Gakpo is a one-trick pony. Yeah, I haven't been inclined to go Gakpo, but he's done very well this tournament. Is the team good if I've already used my wildcard and limitless? So let's be real. I have no idea which team's going to progress in the competition, but if you are in a situation where you have no chip available, remember, I will be using mine in the quarterfinal, which is match day 5, unless I build a team, all of the players go through and the team still looks good. Then I might just be flexible with my chip strategy. But at the time of recording, if you're in a position where you've got no chips left, I think the only thing you can do is just pile in on players that are from teams that look like they're going to progress. I know it's a really obvious answer, but you got to do it because you need that team for the rest of the competition. So it means going for Spain, going for France, going for England, Portugal. Get those players in because there is more of a likelihood that they will remain in the competition beyond this first game. 2 England defenders and Pickford, triple England at the back is a no-no. You say that, but I think we've been quite good defensively, and I think against Slovakia, I could see the same again. Van Dijk and Ake, possibly one. I wouldn't go double. Yes, guys, in terms of the player prices, I think it is such an unknown. I think we don't know if it's going to happen. For me, we don't have any tools out there. There's nothing out there that suggests that certain players are going to change. So I'm just not going to stress about it. I'm just going to leave it how it is and just hope for the best. Paul, just put your team in and I've got 1.5 million left. Why would that be? Paul, you have to check actually if you've put the exact same team. Because I don't think the player prices have changed just yet. Yes, I will be doing a deadline live on Saturday, so do not worry. I will be revealing my final team. Can you do your kick out, knockout to final predictions, fella? So, for me, I think going through this, Spain beat Georgia. Germany beat Denmark, but I don't think it'll be an easy game. Portugal beat Czech. France beat Belgium. I think the Netherlands might just scrape through against Romania, but it isn't obvious. I do think Austria will beat Turkey. I think Austria are a better team. I think England will beat Slovakia. And I think, controversially, I think Switzerland will beat Italy. Controversially. So after that, I think Spain beat Germany. And I think France beat Portugal. I think the Netherlands, I think Austria beat the Netherlands. And I think England beat Switzerland. And then I think Spain beat France. And England beat Austria. And England win the whole thing. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Probably the roguish shout ever. No DeMarco. I think he is currently carrying a knock, so we need to assess the situation on him. So until we hear anything, not a consideration for me. Williams will... Oh, plug, hope you're doing well, mate. Do you do your own graphics, mate? Absolutely not. As you can see here, courtesy of Fabrizio Romano. I'm hoping he doesn't sue me for this. If he's watching this stream, he's got better things to do. So, yeah, no, courtesy of Fabrizio. I mean, I don't have to tell you who he is. Who is Dennis? It's a good question. Who is Dennis? I don't know who that is, mate. England's total XGA, if you are into that sort of thing, is 0.33, best in Euros. Great stuff. So what Sada Stuff here has said that the expected goals against is 0.33 for England, which is fantastic, which means that, like, when we look at the goals, the rocket from Denmark, which was about 30 yards, very identical to the one that France scored against England in a previous tournament, that must have had like a 0.05 XGA. So yeah, I can see it. What about Simons? Do not mind him at all if you want to go there, my friend. Cheers. Southgate hold us back, so I'm going with Spain winners. Yeah, I do think that is a fair shout. Mate, drop Ronaldo. Yes, I do agree. I think Ronaldo is a little bit right now. But when we look at the forwards left in the game, Gakpo, possibly. Havertz doesn't really excite me. Fulkrug can't guarantee minutes. Kane has been poor. Morata could be interesting, to be honest with you, if he's confirmed fit. Maybe Morata instead of Lamine Yamal, but we need to see the status of Morata. But who would have thought I've got too many England players to put Kane in? Who would have thought? Maybe we put Kane in and we need a midfielder. Is Wirtz a good pick? I'm going to say no because we're seeing early substitutions from him. Don't know which Spain forward to go to. No, I think if Morata's confirmed fit, I think that would be a very, very popular pick for a lot. Luke Shaw, no. I can't see him starting, to be honest with you. First Portugal game was so impressive, then it's been disappointing, yes, but I still think they have the attacking talent in that team to hurt teams. What game is first in the last 16 so we know whose lineup it is? Yes, great point. Let's get that up. So as we can see on here, guys, we have got Switzerland, Italy, not the game we wanted for the first game kicking off. Isn't great, but it is what it is. Right, guys, as I said, we were going to do this was always going to be a quick video because I just wanted to react to the game. Now, in terms of my team right now, just to remind ourselves, looking at the fixtures that we have, for me, the ones that we need to lean towards is going to be Spain, a little bit of Germany in there, definitely. Portugal, I think, is definitely an investment. France against Belgium, I do think you should go for one defender, one attacker, most likely Theo Hernandez and Mbappe. Romania, Netherlands, I'm not really getting that inspired by it right now. Austria, I do think is a good investment. Sabitzer is a great differential budget enabler. England, for me, is all about the defence. Switzerland, Italy is anyone's game in my eyes. So with that said, looking at my team, triple England defence, if I'm going to back what I'm saying. Cucurella for the Spanish coverage, Theo Hernandez for the French coverage, and we've got the goalkeeper in Mannion, but that could easily be someone like Simon if I wanted to get the Spanish goalkeeper coverage. And I go for João Cancelo, who I do think is one of the better Portuguese defenders, but if there's a chance of rotation, I think Nuno Mend, however you pronounce it, is also a great pick. In terms of the midfielders, I think we need a piece of the Germany attack, so I think Musiala is an interesting one, but I also really like Gundogan. Sabitzer is a bit of a differential with that Austrian attacking team. Nico Williams, 1v1 merchant, obviously great pick for Spain. Doesn't also use up a forward spot. Bruno Fernandes, of course. Haven't picked a fifth one yet. When I look at this team, who am I missing? I've got a bit of Spain, got a bit of Germany, got a bit of Portugal. No France, but there are no French midfielders to go for. England is the obvious admission here in midfield, but I just do not get excited by any English midfielder in the game. So maybe we lean towards a double up in midfield. Maybe we lean towards a double up. Maybe we go for a bit of Ruiz in there. And it opens up a 9 million forward for our team. I mean, do I love Gakpo? Not really. Ruiz is in. Ruiz is in for those that are saying. Kante, I don't love it. I don't love the Kante pick. I love him. I don't love Kante. Saliba for Theo is a good choice. Yes, that could be a nice little pick. Do I pick Kane? I know, it's a bit rogue. Gundo, I do love Gundo. Maybe Gundo in. Opens up a little bit of money. That gives us 10.5 for the forwards. Again, who can we get out of 10.5? Don't love it. It does scream Ronaldo, though. I mean, that's not too bad. But I do agree, Ronaldo and Kane have been very, very poor. Right now, guys, that's what I'm leaning towards. We've got my Spanish coverage. We've got the England defence. We've got the Spanish defence. Germany attacking Gundo, who is the guaranteed minutes on penalties. Kane, just because we are hopeless England romance fans. Mbappe, most obvious pick ever. Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. Austrian goalkeeper, only 4 million, is a really good shout. Palmer, I would have to have guaranteed he plays in the team. Memphis Depay, not a bad shout at all. Kane for pens, yes, I do think Kane will be my default pick, just because I am a desperate England fan. Arnautovic. There he is. 0% owned, 7 million forward. Very tempting. Could be in the team. And what I'm going to say is this. We're going to wrap up the stream because this was only going to be a reaction stream. Gundogan for pens, yes, that is why I'm preferring him right now and for guaranteed game time. Formation doesn't matter because manual substitutions throughout the game week basically dictate the formation that you go for. User, I can see Arnautovic, you are a big fan of him considering the amount of comments you've put. Okay, guys, as I said, this was only going to be a quick one because it was just going to be a reaction stream for half an hour, 40 minutes. So this is what we're going to do. And this is my promise. Daily Eurofantasy content between now and the end of the campaign. Unless just anything random happens where there's no point doing content. So tomorrow will be my first official draft. 8 a.m. drop-in. So make sure if you're not already, you are subscribed. We're currently edging towards 14.5. That'd be awesome if we could hit that at some point before the FPL season does drop. So if you're not, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow will be my first official team reveal. And then I'll be covering off a Matchday 4 essential guide on Friday. Saturday is going to be final team thoughts and selection. Deadline live stream, going through all of your questions. And I might even sneak in a cheeky live stream on Friday evening as well, if I have time. So make sure if you're not already, you do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't checked already, check out the previous content. And we will be doing plenty more of this. Really enjoyed it. Can't lie to you. The Euro Fantasy has been a great distraction. Thought I was getting the summer off. Lo and behold, we're sat here at 11 p.m. filming. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you do drop a like on the way out. And of course, subscribe to the channel. And I will talk to you in tomorrow's video, 8 a.m. sharp. See you then. Cheers, guys.